What's going on, everybody? It's Game and Box from Reviews here, and welcome to the very first news update for Spider-Man, the PS4 exclusive. That's right, last night at E3 2016, Insomniac Games officially announced that they're partnering with Marvel to create a brand new Spider-Man PS4 exclusive video game. And as soon as this thing came on screen, I knew it was Spider-Man straight away, and my jaw hit the floor. I mean, it's insane. And for those who don't know, that was entirely gameplay footage. Insomniac Games officially confirmed on their Twitter that that was all gameplay, and I can't believe it. This looks like the best looking Spider-Man game we've ever seen. Now, there isn't a lot to go on for this game, alright? This game is going to be, it seems to be very secretive at the minute. They're not giving us a release date, they're not giving us an age rating or anything like that. They're keeping it very secretive and basically saying, look, a Spider-Man game is coming exclusively to the PS4, and I'd say probably next year. I think next year is when it'll come out. So there aren't a lot of details to go off. However, what this video will be is a teaser trailer analysis showing you, what you might not have noticed the first time you watched it, as well as some story details and possibly some hints at some very cool new gameplay additions. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so before we break down that incredible trailer, we're first going to be talking about a very interesting description taken directly from Insomniac Games' official website. So starring the world's most iconic superhero, Spider-Man PS4 working title features the acrobatic abilities, improvisation and web slinging that the wall crawler is famous for, while also introducing elements never before seen in a Spider-Man game. So that's very interesting. So basically, Spider-Man PS4 working title means that they don't have a title yet, or they're just not ready to announce what the game is actually called. So when I talk about this game, I'm just going to call it Spider-Man PS4. Now, the acrobatic abilities, improvisation, and web slinging, that is all seen in the trailer. I mean, Spider-Man is extremely athletic in this game. It's insane. He's jumping, he's flipping, he's slow-mo. The way he moves is just, it's insane. It's really impressive. I mean, this is the most precise Spider-Man animations I've ever seen in a Spider-Man video game, and the web swinging looks so good. I mean, it's actually attaching to buildings. You can see that the webs are attaching to buildings exactly like they're supposed to. I mean, so many games have got that wrong, and I don't know why, and Insomniac Games is finally doing it right. I mean, really, I think Insomniac Games are creating what could arguably be the successor to Spider-Man 2. From traversing with parkour and utilising the environment to new combat and blockbuster set pieces, it's Spider-Man unlike any you've played before, and that is absolutely seen in the trailer as well. I mean, this Spider-Man looks completely different in his suit. I mean, his suit is amazing. I absolutely love the new suit. I think it's a great new take on the character, but also not just that, so many different things. There's different characters that we haven't seen in Spider-Man games before, which we'll get into when we get to the trailer analysis, but there's a lot of new and different things about this game, which gets me really excited because this is a completely different take on Spider-Man that we've never seen before. It's not connected to the movies or the comics or the cartoons or anything like that. It's a brand new take by Marvel and Insomniac Games that allows them to just, have a lot more freedom. They can do whatever they want with this Spider-Man because it's their Spider-Man, and that is one of the most exciting things about this game. And the last thing that the description mentions is that this is an experienced Peter Parker who's more masterful at fighting big crime in New York City, while at the same time he's struggling to balance his chaotic personal life and career while the fate of 9 million New Yorkers rest upon his shoulders. Now, that is really exciting in itself, because I think what Insomniac Games might be hinting at there is that we're going to be playing as Peter Parker in some part of the game, which is really good because I've always thought that Spider-Man games, they've been and gone, and all they kind of focus on is Spider-Man, and to me, there's a lot more to the character than just the superhero. I really want to experience what it's like to be the man behind the mask. And honestly, I know a lot of people might think, what, you want to go bowling with Harry? No, nothing like that. But you got to think, you're going to be playing as a guy who has to struggle with, dating and lying to his Aunt May and, working at a photography place, and he's a superhero. That is a lot. That's a lot to take in. That's one of the most stressful things you could ever think of doing, being that guy who has so many responsibilities whilst also having the responsibility of looking after 9 million people in New York City. That's a big deal, and I want to experience that. I want to be able to play as Peter Parker, see the struggles he has, and also have a blast being Spider-Man. And I think Insomniac Games are going to do exactly that. So now, of course, we're going to break down the actual trailer, and what I want to talk about first is Spider-Man's costume, because that was a massive surprise for both myself and many others watching the stream. I mean, first up, the suit is like nothing we've ever seen before. I mean, I've seen people that hate it, I've seen people that are still getting used to it, and I've seen people that absolutely love it. Now, when I saw this trailer, I was like, whoa. I mean, I didn't hate it and I didn't love it, I just thought, whoa, I've never seen that before. So, of course, I rewatched the trailer several times, and now I absolutely love it. I really do like it. And the thing is, what you got to understand is, this isn't based on the comics or the cartoons or the MCU or anything like that. This is Insomniac Games' take on Spider-Man. And if they want to make a totally different costume, they can do that, because this is their universe. This is their Spider-Man. And I love that, because it gives them so much freedom. And I'm excited to see what's different about this Spider-Man compared to what we've seen before. So the actual costume, you know, I kind of feel like there's a combination between the movie suits. You know, with the eyes, of course, we've got Tom Holland's Civil War eyes with the squinting and everything. Love that. Absolutely love how that head is pretty much taken directly from Civil War. I mean, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Now, the spider symbols, to me, they look like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 and the Sam Raimi trilogy. You know, the original Sam Raimi trilogy. It looks like a combination, like the first one, you know, on the front. That looks like the Amazing Spider-Man 2. You know, maybe a little bit bigger, but it looks like that, but full on white and a bit chunkier. And then on the back, that looks like one of the spiders from the Sam Raimi trilogy. I mean, I could be wrong, but I mean, obviously it doesn't have any connection to those films. I think it's just inspired by all of them, but I like it. I really, really do like it. And the rest of the suit, you know, it's very different. It's, some of it looks like the Civil War suit, and then some of it is very different to what we're used to seeing. And also the web shooters are white. I like that. I really like the amount of white colors on this suit. You know, you got the white spider symbols, you got the white eyes, and you got the white web shooters. I think Spidey's costume looks extremely cool. And who knows, you know, maybe he'll have even more costumes in the game. I'm hoping for some alternative ones. I think, you know, Insomniac Games, I believe in their Ratchet and Clank games and things like that, they've always given you different costumes and things for the characters to unlock and use. So hopefully with this game, they're going to give us a ton of Spider-Man games from the comics, the movies, and all that good stuff. So fingers crossed for all that. So right off the bat in this trailer, we get pretty much an Easter egg. It is, of course, you know, this billboard on the left, and it says Osborn for mayor. Now, it's very blurry in the trailer. You can barely see the name above Osborn, but I believe it says Harry. I think Harry Osborn is running for mayor in this universe, and that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm wondering if that's going to tie into the narrative. Maybe Harry has a go at Peter because he hasn't attended any events, because, of course, he's Spider-Man, he's busy, he's looking after New York. You know, that kind of thing would be interesting, because I think from the description that Insomniac Games has given, it sounds like, you know, not only maybe we see Peter's, you know, struggle as being Spider-Man, but we might also see his friends and his family, you know. Where is Peter? Why is he out so late? What is he up to? Is he safe? Is he okay? You know, that kind of thing. I think we might see bits of that in the story. I mean, it's hard to tell right now because this game, you know, we barely know anything about it, so I'm just speculating, but Harry Osborn running for mayor, that's very different, but also very cool. Now, this could arguably be the coolest shot in the entire trailer. I mean, we see Spider-Man jumping through a cafe and just, you know, flipping around and then smashing through a window. It's crazy. But if you blink, you might have missed something. If you look over here, of course, we can see the Daily Bugle. And what I said at the beginning was about Peter's job, you know, him struggling with his personal life and his career. And that, of course, probably teased that he works at the Daily Bugle. So I think that might hint at, you know, the fact that we're going to be able to take pictures for the Daily Bugle in the game. I mean, at least this confirms that the Daily Bugle is in this universe. I think this Spider-Man game, you know, we don't know a lot about it, but I'd say expect things, you know, that you would expect to see. I mean, if Spider-Man is a photographer, then obviously, you know, there'll probably be photographer missions in the game. And just stuff like that. I mean, this cafe interior, seeing all these people and watching Spidey just jump through casually, it's so cool. It really is. And hopefully, you know, if we can play as Peter Parker, we can just walk into that cafe and do other stuff as well. Maybe more Peter Parker related things. Maybe we can even get a drink of coffee, you know. We'll have to wait and see, because again, there's just not a lot of information on this game yet, but I'm just so excited. The more I think about it, the more things come to mind, and, you know, there's so many possibilities with this game, and it's insane. I can't wait to hear more. Now, one of the things that many people might have overlooked is the actual thugs and villains in this trailer. So basically, as you can see from the trailer, we see a thug, fighting, we see one with a machine gun, and we also see, a giant brute thug, which looks really cool. And if you look at them carefully, I believe they're based on Mr. Negative's inner demons from the comics, which are basically Mr. Negative's henchmen. So that's pretty cool. So I think Mr. Negative will be one of the big bad villains that will be eventually taking on in this game. And it also makes me think, this trailer was very heavily influenced on crime fighting. It wasn't big bad supervillains, it was more just to do with crime, guys with guns and things. They didn't have superpowers or special costumes or anything like that. They just had, weaponry and armed vehicles and stuff like that. So it makes me think, what if we maybe see Kingpin? Maybe Kingpin is going to be one of the enemies in this game, or, Hammerhead. There's tons of possibilities if this is the kind of game they're going to do. It's just about crime fighting, but there could also be really cool big supervillains in the game as well, because, they have said there's massive set pieces in the game, and you've got to expect massive set pieces mean big supervillains. So I think we're going to get a good mix of, normal supervillains that are just guys with guns and things like Hammerhead and Mr. Negative and Kingpin, but also we might get some really cool, powerful supervillains like Green Goblin, Vulture, Rhino, Shocker, etc. Now, in this part of the trailer, we of course see Spider-Man swoop down and take out one of the inner demons, and then the camera kind of pans around Spider-Man as it slows down, and I believe that is teasing a SpiderSense ability, and I think the SpiderSense, basically in this game, might slow down time, allowing you to take out enemies before they even notice you. I could be wrong, but that would be extremely cool, and, I don't think we've ever really seen a Spider-Man game really take the SpiderSense as an advantage. I think it's always just been a thing that kind of finds objects, or just little things like that. It hasn't really been a big thing in the game. And this, if this is SpiderSense, I think it's going to be a big thing in combat especially. So that's pretty exciting. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I mean, there isn't really anything more to analyze because the rest of the trailer just gives you a great example as to the massive set pieces that are going to be in the game, with the armored car and the explosions and the crane and the thugs. I mean, there's so much chaos going on in New York City, and I can't wait to stop all of it as the Amazing Spider-Man. I mean, this game looks like something really special. It's like I've been saying, I mean, the Arkham games, the slogan for those games were be the Batman, become Batman, drive the Batmobile, take out his classic enemies and all that kind of stuff. And this, what I'm seeing right here, the vibe I'm getting is become Spider-Man, be athletic, be strong, swing through New York City, save people, see the struggle of being both a normal citizen and a superhero. We're getting all of that from this game, and I just can't wait to hear more. Fingers crossed we hear more maybe at Comic-Con or something. I think that would be really nice if they release a bit more information in the coming weeks and months. And I'm quite certain this game will come out next year. I highly doubt 2018. I think that would be really shocking. And, knowing Sony, I think maybe they'll want it to release possibly close to the release of Spider-Man Homecoming, not necessarily, exactly the same day, because the problem with Spider-Man games in the past is that they've always been rushed out of the door, and sometimes they turn out good, and sometimes they turn out, not so good. So with this game, I think they're just going to release it when it's done, when they think, right, now we can release it, now people will enjoy this game to its full extent. Alright guys, so I want to thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for lots more videos real soon, and as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.